So once again, I have to kind of break out some unfortunate news if you're an Xbox fan, and especially if you were kind of looking forward to the future of Xbox. Once again, I kind of say that Microsoft changes direction quite often, and this is something that realistically blows my mind when they do this because, they don't really give anybody a set chance to really even buy into what they're doing. It's like as soon as somebody's like, well, that's okay, maybe I'll go with that, then they change up what they're doing altogether. And that is really unfortunate because I know some people who are actually kind of looking forward to this. I want to get into it. Hey, everybody, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and that is something that is incredible. Again, I try to do daily gaming content. If you guys enjoy that kind of thing, hey, look no further. I'm your guy. All I ask in for a return is a simple like. I try to be fun yet informative. So, yeah, kind of keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, remember when Microsoft and everybody was talking about the actual Xbox handheld that was going to be made by Microsoft, and it was originally going to come out as the same time as their next console, and that was supposedly going to be like 2027 or so, and it was going to play your Xbox games natively, because we know that the Asus ROG Xbox, or whatever the heck they want to call it, we know they announced that at their showcase. The problem with that is, like somebody like me, who I have like 1,500 games installed on my Xbox Series X. I think 67 of them are Play Anywhere, so only those 67 would be playable on that natively. So, again, this is just a PC handheld that they try to slap this overlay on or whatever. So I don't have any interest in it whatsoever. But a lot of people, myself included, had a little bit of interest in the Xbox branded Xbox handheld that was going to actually play all your digital games that you have in your library. And now it looks like that is canceled. Microsoft seems to be content with not putting out its own Xbox handheld console. According to a new report, Microsoft has essentially canceled the first-party Xbox handheld. At the end of May, it was reported that Microsoft decided to sideline the development of its in-house handheld system. Now, just a couple weeks later, The Verge's Tom Warren is reporting that the handheld appears to not be happening at all. So, yeah, I mean, think about that for a second. It's not really just sidelined, but now it's completely out of the question. This is what he said, and I quote, "I've heard from insiders that it's essentially canceled as the company focuses on Xbox's new software platform. I still think we'll see a next-gen Xbox hardware from Microsoft, but I also strongly believe we'll see multiple devices from PC makers like Asus that will also be considered next-gen Xbox consoles." Now, here's the big problem. That's not an Xbox, right? Like, if Asus, like, this is an Xbox thing is ludicrous, right? Because, if you want to say this is capable of playing Xbox Game Pass or whatever, or Game Pass, then I think that's fine. But to be honest with you, it's very misleading the way that they kind of run these things, right? And the fact that it's not running console games, like, somebody gets this thing and thinks, oh, let me buy, EA Sports college football in this thing. Well, you can't, because it's not on PC, right? Or, hey, I'll get this Asus ROG thing. It's called an Xbox, and then I'll get GTA 6 on it. Well, nope. Because that's not coming to PC, at least not for, at least a year or longer. So, there's all these issues, with this whole calling all this stuff Xbox or whatever. Some people might be okay with, streaming or whatever. I personally feel like that's a terrible way to game. It's just absolutely the worst. With that being said, yeah, this is a big problem. Microsoft can just willy-nilly cancel their own hardware. And, again, even though Tom Warren is like, hey, yeah, I think Microsoft is still going to make their box. What's the point if there's like, multiple other ones? I think that's going to be kind of going the same route as the Steam Deck. What is that? You guys probably remember the old Steam machines, right? Those things didn't even sell 500,000 units. And one of the big problems was there was too many different things to choose from. They were expensive because you can't subsidize, what's going on with that type of hardware. And that's really what the issue might be, because Tom Warren, among others, really tend to think that Microsoft is going to release this box that can play Steam and all this other stuff, which means that Microsoft absolutely will not subsidize it, and they're going to charge a lot of money for it. They probably think that Microsoft is going to charge a good amount or that Sony's going to charge a good amount for the PS6 because they charge $700. Sony could do the ultimate move and just charge a regular price, $500 or whatever for the PS6, while Microsoft is out here charging $800-900 for their stuff. You're making it even more niche of a thing. But anyway, speaking of Asus, the company did reveal its Asus ROG Xbox Ally, that's a mouthful, and Xbox Ally X handheld as part of Xbox Showcase this month. The new handheld is built with an Asus framework, but features Xbox branding in the form of controls and operating system. That operating system, while still Windows, is a lighter version of the software to make it easier for pick-up and play gamers for use. Xbox's next mainline console, to follow up to the Series X, is expected to come at 2027 at the earliest. Microsoft has yet to respond to this request for a report. But yeah, again, this is really, really just not good news for anybody, especially if you were looking maybe forward to a console, like a real console handheld, or something that was dockable like the Switch or whatever. I'm not sure. Like, Microsoft really seems much more interested in doing services and software and stuff like that, as opposed to actually putting out a box, and so when I do say, hey, be worried a little bit about this, I 100% mean it, because just because Microsoft says something doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, Microsoft has promised things in the past, and it doesn't mean it comes to fruition. Short term, they're making money with, selling their games on PlayStation and everywhere, so they think that's the future. Unfortunately, Sony's going to start having their own games come out, and that's going to make it so that the Xbox stuff is probably not going to get bought as much, and there's only room for so much. We already have tons and tons of games releasing. It's maybe you could say there's too much in terms of content. Now that Xbox doesn't have like exclusive games anymore or anything, so that's going to be tougher of a sale or whatever the case may be, unfortunately, going forward. So again, Microsoft is in a very weird situation, a very weird position to be in, but the fact that they're canceling things the way that they are right now really kind of just makes you question the entire future of the platform. At least to me, that's what it kind of does for me anyway. It's like, okay, what are you guys really thinking about here, and why are you kind of turning your back on the people that realistically put you guys on the map in the first place? And it's just like, I know you see some Xbox people kind of talk this stuff up or whatever, but trust me when I say that thing is the furthest thing from an Xbox, and there's not really any way that Microsoft could do something that would make that an Xbox. Fact of the matter is, they're only kind of allowing like the Play Anywhere stuff to be played, and those are still just PC versions of games, right? Like, if you're just a plug and play gamer, I don't care if it's light Windows or what, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of BS in that community. I'm like playing the PC versions of games where there's a lot of cheaters and aimbots, hacks, all that kind of stuff that's super easy to get. That's going to be a big issue kind of going forward. So yeah, like, for me personally, I think it's really, really bad news, and I'm sure that some of you will probably agree with that take. I hope Microsoft decides to go back and change their mind on this and make hardware again, because I think a dockable actual Xbox handheld sounds pretty cool, but it needs to be able to play your digital library of actual Xbox console games, not Play Anywhere stuff, because I don't think that we're ever going to see a point where big third parties support Play Anywhere. So the majority of your games that aren't Xbox games, which, let's be honest, Xbox doesn't exactly put out the best games. So basically, whenever good games do come out, like the majority of those games, like from Ubisoft, EA, whatever the case may be, they aren't going to be supporting Play Anywhere, so you're not going to be able to play them on this thing anyway. So that's something to kind of keep in mind as we go forward. But yeah, bad news all around. Let me know what you guys think. Are you disappointed by this? Are you losing confidence in Microsoft and the idea that Microsoft can make their own hardware? Let me know. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.